Just getting ready. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cosmic Intelligence Agency's 20th celebrations. I am Agent 12, Julija Simas, and I'm very proud to have started something a long time ago that began in my head. It was a great idea. Um, and, let's say summoning people or gathering people that were interested in the whole idea of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And some of them are here today with me. They've all kind of come in different waves over the years. Um, I can't even remember some of the moments that we met with, let's say, all of you wonderful people and agents out there. But let's start with the top left for me is Tara Greene. Hello, Tara. Welcome.
Hi, Yulia. Hi, everybody. Wow, I'm really proud to be here, and I can't believe it's 20 years. Um, and I'm trying to remember how we met, Yulia. I do remember we met up in Sedona in 2014, and we made that pilgrimage to Flagstaff to the where Pluto was discovered at the Lowell
Yes.
Observatory. I think we met through Lindsay McKenna.
You got in touch with me, I remember, via email, and you said, I
Okay.
really, like what you're doing, and I'd love to
Okay.
be an agent, and that's how it started. And
Okay.
and Tari, that was, look, I don't know, it was a long time ago. I
It
don't
was a
even
long
remember.
time ago. Yeah.
I don't remember the year, but you have been a great agent, let's say, because you've been doing a monthly update, like
Right.
for a long
A
time
long
on
time.
Facebook, and it's
Yeah.
a tarot astrology update.
Yeah.
I mean, tarot and astrology is just everywhere now as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
combination, but you're kind of, to me, you're one of the originals that was doing that for sure.
So doing that.
Oh, you're cutting out a bit. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Tara, for your
Uh,
service.
yeah. Yeah. Well, we're in Toronto for over 30 years, right? So that's my internet. Uh, okay. My internet is very
Stable.
unstable.
All right. Well, we'll move on. Thanks,
Unstable.
Tara.
Unstable.
Okay. I'll go
Okay.
on.
All
I'll
right.
go on
We'll catch up
to
with you.
probably one
Okay.
of our newest agents, and that's Kim
Okay.
Fairminer from Brisbane, Australia. Welcome, Kim.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. I've started writing the full moon reports for the CIA, and like I've watched the organization like grow and morph and change and just reach into all new amazing corners of the globe, really. And I'm so excited to be able to make a meaningful contribution each month. Something simple, the full moon, but we all feel those full moons, so it's a really great way of connecting with people, particularly for people that are new to astrology. So yeah, I'm really excited to be part of the CIA. And to
Thank
be here
you.
for its 20th birthday.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the birthday is actually in like an hour and a quarter, like the exact
Ah,
return. So we're going to finish probably right at the time. So that's pretty cool. So next, I'm just going. Thank you so much, Kim, and thanks for your work with that. And hopefully there'll be more, right? Okay. Next, I've got Russell, Agent 84, Russell Ohlhausen. How are you? Welcome.
Good, good. Yeah, it's been an interesting ride, kind of witnessing the CIA, watching you from across the pond for many years. And I think I encountered you back in those first original years because I was working with Donna Woodwell and we were founding the Astrological Society of Austin. We were connecting to the NCGR. I was making, network connections all over the place. And I encountered you and I thought, well, that's such an interesting approach using the CIA. Then you explained it, have agent, literally from the television show Get Smart. And I was like, all right, this woman's got a sense of humor. And, you're Sagittarius, you are a Sagittarius ascendant, I believe. And I was like, okay, now I get it because I am as well. And so it made a lot of sense to me. And I watched you over the years develop this, and I was kind of blown away with how you did it and all the people you managed to reach. You kept coming back around and back around our little astrological society here in Austin. came and did a lot of good things, and then it went away during COVID, and we're kind of trying to revive it a little bit again. But I've watched you just grow steadily over the years, and it's been pretty amazing to see this 20-year ride for the CIA. Yeah.
Thank you so much, 84. We have done a few things together. Haven't seen you for a long time,
It's
but
been a while, yeah.
I always remember the wonderful event you and Sharon put on with for the CIA in where were we? Boulder,
We were in
Colorado.
Boulder. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was wonderful that you showed up for that. It was small. We didn't know what we were going to get into, but you've always been one of those kind of people that has kind of encouraged or put up with, tolerated my little crazy ideas and my approach to astrology and my research and my out there. You kind of always found a place for it, and that was one of those events where we kind of mixed a lot of that together. That was a wonderful
Yeah,
event.
with the ecstatic dance, and yeah, it was very cool. And so always remember that, and hopefully we can do something else. We'll speak to you later about some amazing project you've got going on. Okay, so thank you so much, 84. Now again, I don't know how everyone else is seeing it, but on my left at the bottom is Bill Meridian, Agent 72. Bill, hello. Can you unmute yourself? Hang on, I don't know if I can do it. Unmute, unmute.
Yes.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry.
Glad you could make it, Bill, Agent 72.
Oh, I'm 72. I was about to ask you what I didn't know what number it was.
Agent must always remember their number. Bill.
Okay, 72. You've done a marvelous job of holding the group together. A lot of groups don't even last 20 years. So I'm very happy to be part of CIA. I've met people from all over the world, and I'm always interested in hearing new views, new methods of analysis, and things like that.
Thank you. Yes. Well, we've learned a lot from you, Bill. And I remember the first time meeting you in New Orleans, where we arrived for the first time at a conference, for a trade table, and we bought all these hats, like agent hats in Los Angeles. And of course, we arrived in LA, in New Orleans, and that's the thing in New Orleans. They all wear hats. So we were kind of right there, right in there, like, in the place. And then we met you with the hat. It was like you just fit the part. And of course, your expertise in teaching us, because you have been into astrology, how many years now? Like 50 more.
53 in October.
Wow. So a whole Saros cycle 3 times returning now, coming up.
That's it.
Wow, wow, wow. Fantastic. He's taught us well. So really, Bill, it's great to have someone like you and your expertise as part of the team that we kind of call on you when we can as well.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll ask you a bit about what you've seen change in astrology over the last 20 years, or probably even more as we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Bill, for being here.
Sure.
Now, on my left here, Agent 300, Rose Marcus. Welcome.
Hello there. Hello, everyone. And I'm really happy to be with this group and really happy to be part of the CIA. And as Bill said, it is amazing that things last as long as they do. In 20 years, it is such a milestone. And Jules, I just am really having to express thanks and admiration for you for holding it all together, because I don't think people realize how much work goes on behind the scenes, and your dedication and your heart, it really shows. And I think that that's part of what makes the CIA so wonderful.
Thank you. I know it is a lot of work, but I do love it. And I've learnt to let's say only do the things that I love. Otherwise, it's too stressful, and people come and go. That's inevitable. And yeah, just kind of learnt a lot in so many in all that time. So, and thank you, Rose. Rose writes a monthly column for us, has done many webinars as well as an evolutionary astrologer. So we really thank you for your input as well, Rose, and articles in Time Lords, of course, as well. Very cool to have you with us. Now, next on my path here is Ursula Stockder. Hello, dear Ursula, in Mexico. forgetting to say where everyone is, but yeah, in Mexico. Welcome, Ursula.
Thank you. Thank you for being part of your baby, your adolescent baby. And well, I admire
Teenager. No, young
teenager.
adult.
Yes, almost, almost. In Mexico, it's 21 years. It's only 20 years. So, well, I'm very proud of being part of it. And well, I loved meeting you in Turkey. We got to know each other in Turkey. And well, your creativity, your passion, your love, it makes your CIA very different from all the other organizations because you are the head there and you always bring new stuff and so creative. Well, I love colors, I love painting, and every time I see your posts, they are all beautiful, and you put a lot of work there in many ways. And thank you for all the information you share and the knowledge and the community.
So much, Ursula. We've always talked about doing more or doing something in Mexico, and let's hope that something comes together. It was
Yes,
on the plans before COVID, wasn't it? And it's almost amazing to think like it's been 5 years since COVID, and we're still kind of getting back to things
well,
we were doing before.
maybe next year when you come to Chicago, we can do something. So you already have
I'm
crossed.
already on that way. Yeah, well, let's talk about that.
So we have to do something. Yes, of course. Wherever you want to go, we can organize it. And well, I would love having you in Mexico. Really.
Thank you so much, Ursula. That's beautiful. We love you being part of it as well, and someone you can call on as well for again, Ursula, you have got a treasure of research that you've done in so many avenues to do with art and astrology and Venus, and I mean, I still have to pick your brain about so many things about the Mexican Venus. But I'll come for a study tour. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ursula. It's such a joy to be connected to you as well. Thank you. And now, Patricia Walsh, Agent 999. We have called her in over the years.
No, you're saying it wrong.
I'm saying it wrong.
Agent 999.
Okay. Now, Patricia, you were very much involved with us in so many ways over the years in Australia, coming to our original star camps, I think twice, or was it twice?
Twice, yeah.
And then workshops in Melbourne, doing the regression therapies and taking us on amazing journeys through I think one year it was the nodal journey. I can't remember the other one now. It was absolutely wonderful. So welcome back. I know we've kind of not been disconnected, but this is what happens with agents. They're busy for a while, and then I know I can call on you when need be if the time is right to do stuff. So it's great to see you.
Well, I remember meeting you in the New Orleans UAC a gazillion years ago. And
2012, yes.
And then I remember standing in your kitchen and I was having visions of one of your past lives. You remember that? When I came out to do Star Camp. This was 2012. That's how far back we're going.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think that was the first Star Camp was like 2012.
The first one was 2011, but the next one,
right, was 20. Yeah, after that was several years later.
Yeah.
2011 was when I first came over there, and I remember standing in your kitchen having visions of your past life. And then I remember in that particular Star Camp, the journey you had, which was Journey to the North Node, was about bees and buzzing, and this was all like kind of CIA was happening, but not to the extent that it's happening now. And this was just like this big vision of your future that you downloaded, remember?
Yes, that's right. The cosmic bee, going up and getting the honey from the cosmos and bringing it down.
And that is CIA. That is what it's become. I mean, I forget, I don't know who just said it, but I mean, congratulations to you in that this is not an org that's like a person sitting at the middle telling people what to do. This is an org that's a true hive mind, right? It's organic yet organized. Totally rare in the astrology world.
Crazy chaos. Yes, that's right.
Exactly. Organized chaos. I love it.
Oh, thanks for saying that. Yeah, wonderful memories. But also, the people like you to be around, to be inspired by, and take journeys with. The mentors, the people that we like to be around. As you know, the history of people coming in as agents. I did stop, let's say, a few years ago, and created a membership instead of creating agents, because they represent us in the end somehow. And there were some people that just were really not people we wanted to represent us in so many different ways. So it became a bit dangerous. It's like, I don't want them saying, I mean, of course, people can go out there and say they're agent one, whatever. Like, there's no policing on that. But, as a core, it's still kind of like it gets back to us. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
who knows what double agents are doing out there anyway?
Well, I just have to say thank you. I will watch the further, but I only zoomed in to say hi and
Oh, that's
congratulations
fantastic,
because
Patricia. I love
I'm
it.
packing to go away. So love
We'll
you
see you in
all.
Australia soon again, I think,
Yes,
hopefully.
yes,
Or,
we got something we're cooking.
yeah, thanks so much, 999.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
We'll
Love
see you
you.
soon. All the
Bye.
best. Um, yeah, okay, so many stories and so many I'd like to share, but I was always thinking about, creating a podcast, and I still might, of the CIA journey, because there's been so many funny things that have happened. And I think one of my favorite ones was, so we used to have the star camps. We had about four of them in the outback. And this one's worth telling. So the first star camp, some of the girls there, they were playing ukuleles, right? And Patricia was supposed to be on this talk here now, but I don't know where he is. Anyway, so he came, and he wasn't someone yet, right? And he was called Tom Lesher. And one day at the campfire, he he started playing ground control to Major Tom to me. And the agents used to call me Control, right? They called me Control, like in a nice way. Because as Russell was mentioning, the what do you call it? The show Get Smart, the organization that they were part of was called Control, right? So anyway, um, so he sang that song, and then it kind of caught on that ground control to Major Tom. Um, what do you call it? Space Oddity by David Bowie became our theme song, and we kind of changed the words. And by the next star camp, we had learnt to play it on ukuleles, right? So more of us got ukuleles, and around the campfires and stuff, we started singing this song. But also on the first star camp, it was September, no, yeah, it was September 2011. We invited an astronomer to join us, and he was a friendly astronomer. He liked astrology. He was really interested. He was, a local from Alice Springs. We, gave him dinner. He said, "I've got a surprise for you." Most of us were girls. There was a few guys there, but he said, "I've got a surprise for you guys." And it was like 8 p.m. and we all had to look kind of, I can't remember, east, probably north or something. Anyway, and what happened was the ISS space station had just launched, right? And so every night he said, "You'll see that, space station come past every night now at 8 o'clock, right?" So it became a thing that every star camp, as the ISS station came through, and it was amazing. The timing kind of stayed the same, 8 p.m. every night. We started singing ground control to Major Tom on our ukuleles. Now, you wouldn't make this up, and there's been many, many stories like this. But so after 5 days in the outback, where, we do have showers and stuff, but, it's dusty and, we're sleeping in swags, meaning we're kind of, in big canvas kind of sleeping bags under the stars, which was gorgeous. And we book into a hotel for a night on return with a swimming pool, to defrag, to, kind of have a drink and, just kind of laugh about what happened. And so we get the kind of newspaper returning after cleaning up, and to the thing, the front page says, Space Station astronaut records ground control, space oddity. Do you remember that? That was at the time we were singing that in the 5 days at our star camp. Now, those kind of things have happened in so many ways, but that's like a real beauty. Like, it's like, seriously, what? Are we getting messages? We certainly are, So cosmonauts from so many ways. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. But again, so many stories and, so many laughs, let's say. So look, I'm just going to share a few things here, and hopefully some of you can add what you feel like. So let me just get that. So it's really cool to be celebrating. A lot of agents have, what do you call it, sent their apologies. They can't be with us today or later today. We've actually got a part 2 with the European agents as well. Some agents from Australia, they're traveling or they're working. There's many different stories, and some we don't hear from. I always say agents have taken badges, they're missing in action. They get emails after a few years of no response. It's kind of like they're off our system. It's like there's not worth chasing them up. So in the end, I always say it's about the agents that remain active and interested, that really kind of, I keep working with or keep connected to. So I just want to thank all the agents of the past and all the agents of the present. But probably also most importantly is now the CIA members that keep us, let's say, putting together the great material that is in our library and accessed about, learning astrology, not just learning it. We have a lot of astrologers that are part of us. We're learning from each other. There's a lot of great research being done, sort of techniques, updates to so many things, which is, it's just such a joy to be part of, as opposed to rehashing the same old things all the time. So the library is incredible, the agents are incredible, and the information is fantastic as well. So if you haven't joined us for those reasons, you might want to have a think about it. I just want to go back a little bit. The 2005, when I secured the Cosmic Intelligence Agency name as a web URL, and because it was in my head for quite a while when I was finishing my astrology studies or diploma with astrosynthesis and Brian Clark here in Melbourne, and my husband at the time was renting an office, and where we kind of, I'd work there once a week or twice a week or something, and it was a graphic web. It wasn't web back then yet, no. Was it? I can't remember. Anyway, it was a graphic design business and so on. So we'd sit in lunch, and I remember, all the texts I was reading, or a lot of them had the words cosmic intelligence in them, and I just kind of fell in love with that amazing saying, like the cosmic intelligence. It's almost like, well, what else is there, to live by? What other kind of intelligence do we need? And so then this sign, which says Cox International Australia, put that together for me, as in I looked up and went, oh my gosh, CIA. And Cox being valves of some kind. I know this sounds a bit funny, but valves, some kind of industrial valves. But that's when I looked up and went CIA and went, oh, Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And of course, it's a circular logo. And, you know, that was kind of the beginning of designing this logo and going, that's it, you know, I've got to do something with it. But it took me this was 2004 when I kind of put it together, and I started telling people, you know, I'm going to start this cosmic intelligence agency, and they were going, oh my God, you're going to get locked up. You're going to, you know, it's like, what for? What am I going to get locked up for? You know, all these kind of things. And then I looked up and realized that there was a coffee intelligence agency, there was a cinema intelligence agency. You know, there was so many, you know, intelligence agencies that began with C that it was like, oh, well, there needs to be a cosmic one for sure. So then, so then later, you know, what became the reason for the Cosmic Intelligence Agency was, again, we're cosmic agents. And the, you know, the interpretation of the cosmos, as we know, is following a beautiful order. Cosmetic, the word cosmetic is from cosmic, so it's being connected to something, you know, the most beautiful thing, let's say. Intelligence meaning the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. Of course, that's what we are doing with our astrology, and the agency is providing a service. Now, in 2005 or 2004, I do remember, you know, speaking to some people or some women that I knew at the time that really were still hiding the fact that they were studying astrology, or that their husbands didn't know, and I just couldn't believe that that was a thing, that people were, you know, kind of hiding the fact that they're astrologers or doing astrology. And to me, it was completely the opposite feeling. We need to tell more people about this. We need to be able to, you know, put this out there, because the intelligence stuff was not what we were seeing in the newspapers, or it was all behind the scenes in the organizations, or the you know, the newsletters, or the, you know, the let's say the organizations that sort of held astrology together. Whereas on the outside, it was all sun sign astrology and, you know, cute rams. And it was like, this is not the astrology I know. So I want to do something different with how astrology is portrayed out in the world. And of course, I didn't really know what the CIA would be doing at the time of purchasing, but it became organic and moved from there with the people that I knew. And just a reminder to the agents, an agent has an active or effective cause, is an active principle within the agency, a representative. And the origin of agent is about doing or being involved, okay? And so the people that ask me, you know, how to become an agent, you need to come up with a mission and, you know, kind of do something once a year at least. It's not a lot to ask, but it's surprising how that doesn't happen. Anyway, so this the circular logo became had the fractal added to it many years later, and the fractal representing the constant movement, you know, of the cosmos, the constant intake of information, and how we kind of keep moving through it. And so the CIA became a badge of confidence to use astrology in the world. It's like, I'm a loud and proud astrologer. This is what we do. And if we look at where astrology is now, I mean, in so many wonderful ways, and in maybe not so many wonderful ways, I always joke that the mission worked. Astrology is everywhere now. So well done, everybody. Does anyone want to say anything about that at this point? Or how you felt about, you know, connecting to the words or the logo, or, you know, making you no, everyone's quiet.
I'll chime in on that.
Cool.
You know, so when I first saw your logo, I was deep down the mathematical rabbit holes. So it immediately just, you know, it jumped at me as like, okay, this echoes the Mandelbrot repeated around the edge, you know, a little bit. And what you've got going there is So I realized you were a thinker. It triggered something in me, and it's like I don't know anybody else who has a logo like yours. It's like it stands out everywhere. I mean, everyone's always trying to do something simplistic or refined a certain way, and this one stands out by its in a way its uniqueness. I mean, plus it stands out because it's an astrological logo. You can't miss that. But yeah, so it something that I can spot a mile away. I can see a person in a crowd. Like every now and then I'll see somebody who's an astrologer in Austin and they'll be wearing one of your t-shirts. And this is Texas, this is across the other side of the planet. And I was like, you know what we know, because it's that easy to spot. So yeah, it's a beacon.
Yeah, thank you. Wonderful. I remember being told that in a reading, it's a beacon, and the CIA just remains that beacon, and whoever it attracts, it's not like you have to be not physically or financially kind of involved here, or as a member. It spreads the word without saying too much.
What
Ursula.
what intelligence, when I had my teacher, he was a direct student of Jung. He said there is a very huge difference between intelligence and being brilliant. When you say someone is intelligent, you have to get also in touch with the emotions and this part of sensitivity. And the other part I like of your logo is the spiral that's in the middle. That means that you go very deep into yourself. So these two, well, the colors also have to say something, but the turquoise, that's also your favorite color, but it is also a very special color that goes into the intuition. So it has a lot of symbolism, your logo.
Well, the spiral is also that it's always turning, that's important. Like astrology is always moving. And thank you, Ursula. That's cool. If we remember, again, when it was around 2008, a friend of mine, I remember, said you must join Facebook with the CIA, and I'll go, what's Facebook? Like, what is that thing? And then of course we did join it, and started kind of connecting people, and then we made a movie. And so the CIA came around at a time when again social media just started taking off, so it really was incredibly helpful to actually get the word out there and connect us to everyone around the world. And getting a following. And then some of you will know by 2014 we had over 1 million followers on Facebook. And so and then of course it's like, oh my gosh, well, what are we going to do? So it was just continuing to again put out, let's say, information. And in those days, a wonderful picture and a few lines went so far, and they still do. But I think as an agency now, we have become more, again, we've got a really good membership. There's people that are serious about studying more with us. And that's the focus. So social media, I'm getting so bored with it. I need someone young to take over the stream of the social media stuff. So if anyone, I'm saying young because, you need to sort of know all those things, all the tricks, which I'm just not interested in. So anyway, come my way, present yourself, and we'll talk about it. Anyway,
question for you. I have a
yes.
question. Why did you choose the 7-pointed star?
Because the other planets are kind of invisible. So the 7 is, is the 12. The 12 is already in the zodiac here. So we do have the principle of 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 5. Where's the 5 now? I can't remember. The 5 stars, I think. Cosmic has got 6, 7-pointed stars. There's kind of like all the numbers there. I've got it written now. I can't remember all the stuff, but and And so, yeah, the seven being much more agent-like as well, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like a badge, and very Saturnian, right? Like with the seven, yeah, the seven symbols as opposed to what you'd say 5 or 12 or what have you. I think a lot of the police badges have 5 pointed stars, so I didn't really want that either. Anyway, it became the 7 to represent the 7 ancient, the luminaries and the planets, and then the others, of course, are invisible, and there's so many of them. So how could we represent all of them? So anyway,
Well,
I remember giving it to, because again, my husband and I, well, mostly my husband's business on graphic design, I gave it to a great graphic designer that I had drawn this all up and gave it to him one afternoon, said, oh, could you work on this, Jed? And by the next morning, he had it pretty perfect. And I just kind of changed a few things or got more kind of detail in it. And it was done so quickly. He knew exactly what to do. Anyway, it was cool. So this is a CIA chart. Every agent's supposed to know this. I'm just wondering if any of you want to say anything about your connections to this chart, or if you've looked at it, or you want to say anything about it. I do love that we have Mercury, and Mercury is actually at 12 Leo at the moment as we speak for our solar return. We'll see it in a minute. But it is the north node of Neptune. So it's kind of, what is that telling us? We're always connecting to, you know, the cosmos for inspiration, and it's a very collective signature to be on the north node of Neptune. Rose, maybe you can tell us a little bit or what you think about that as an EA astrologer.
Yeah, on the Neptune North Node too. And I was just thinking that the Pluto in the 12th house as well too, you know, the archetypical house of Pisces, that's the collective, right? You know, and Pluto and Sag, you know, it's about education and so forth, and the fact that that's a retrograde symbol as well too, which is punching up the dispositor Jupiter, which is sitting up there by the south node as well too. I think that this is really part of the intention to reach the masses, you know, 12th house archetype as well too. So I think it's a very strong chart. I'm Aries Libra anyway, and and so and my Jupiter is 22 degrees Gemini, so I write some columns, you know, and so on. But Julia, I wanted to point out, I don't know whether you did a progressed on the CIA, but you know,
I did. I've got it coming up. But
yeah.
anyway, yes.
So, you know, a Libra archetype in terms of evolutionary astrology, anyway, we look at that as an archetype of exploring diversity. And you were talking about that earlier of opening that up and having a lot of agents come in. And that's exactly at the top of the chart, is Libra at the top of the chart, South Node in Libra, Jupiter. And so this is opening it up, right? You know, with the Libra and bringing in a whole collective. It's a lot of the agents have their own specialties and do different things. And all of that combined together makes a beautiful whole. What I noticed in the progressed wheel is that progressed Venus has just moved into Scorpio. And you've been mentioning this throughout as well too. You know, we've opened it up, and it goes through its own metamorphosis of people leaving and other people coming in, and that's the whole flavor of it changing. But with the Venus in Scorpio, I see that as deepening and enriching, and this is what I think about the whole CIA as well too. And you know, I want to say that, and sorry, I'm getting a little carried away here, but you know, I've been around a long time, and I've seen the whole metamorphosis of our industry. And I think that with social media and with you know, what's happening now in the world of astrology, and how everybody and his brother now is interested, and everybody and his brother now is an astrologer, because we can just go to artificial intelligence and pull up whatever we need, right? You know, I think that there is a necessity to have some places to go where we can exchange some really deep and meaningful information, right? It's like, where do you go as somebody new to astrology who is very excited about the topic, and then all the stuff you can find online, where do you go to? And I think that we, as those of us who have been practicing a long time, I mean, the depth that astrology offers is so unbelievable. It just like blows my mind when I hear some people speak all the time. It's like, wow, it's like incredible. And I think this is where the CIA is going to a new level, and it is really, for dedicated, serious-minded, looking at wanting to read articles or have webinars that have depth, right?
Yeah.
That's what I picked up when I was looking at the chart, was that Venus moving into Scorpio, just deepening and enriching.
Yes, that's right. It's almost like, what do we want to be devoted to now? And it's not the same kind of fluff that's out there, which I have to say we were very much part of, and in a sense still are, in a sense, with social media, but it's changed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that as well, too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And of course, that Pluto transit is squaring that progressed Venus across the first house position. So, it's a constant metamorphosis.
So gathering intelligence.
Sorry, did you hear that? Did anyone hear? Oh, you could hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. So I just got to this is something really funny that in 2012, and some of you know this, but Caroline Casey, I went to one of her talks in New Orleans, and she was talking about 11 degrees of Leo. Of course, we've got our Mercury there. So have a listen to this.
So gathering intelligence, indeed, as we began our council disguised as whatever this is, today, the moon rising at 11 Leo. Now, a lot of our work, we're learning from actual just noticing and application. It's not necessarily in books. So there was a time when I was doing charts for mostly good people, but who were spies and undercover agents and political operatives, mostly good, but they all had a planet at 11 plus Leo, and I was like, oh, it's a gathering intelligence thing.
I mean, you hear that? Did you hear that? That's incredible. So I nearly fell off my chair listening to that, knowing that the CIA chart had 11 degrees of Leo and we're gathering intelligence and we're kind of, well, we're not spies, but anyway. So, the things that have happened again, so funny. I was just going to say that this chart was not elected. It was an intuitive kind of having the name in my head going, I need to buy this URL. And in one afternoon, I just went, okay, this is it. And, noted the time, and I really didn't know about electional astrology. I just noted the time, and, this became that chart. So it's told me a lot. It's showed me a lot. I do follow it, and it's really great to have, the Venus kind of up the top there. So many people connected in various ways. I did in 2005, this Pluto was on my own ascendant at 21 Sagittarius. So having found, let's say, the power of astrology was, something I had to, be, I think, right? So it became my calling. So this is a solar return. Again, it will be in about half an hour now, I think, from now. So 27 Leo, our moon right at the end. Again, of course, a zero Virgo sun ruled by that Mercury we just talked about. Anyone want to add anything to this? We do have this yod going on with Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune. Yes, kind of a big, it's really sort of tying in everything that's going on in the world at the moment with square to Uranus, and how we move through these times. Anyone want to add something there?
I'll say a bit. I love solar return charts, so I was really fascinated by this one. And yeah, those scorpionic themes are definitely sort of repeated here with the rising sign. So that really brings those rebirth, that change, that evolution into focus. And the dark moon kind of, moving towards that new moon, it's just so like juicy and rich and mysterious. And I do think it brings in a little bit of those like secret agent themes. Like it's almost like it's calling in new people, because that's the new moon's like really close to that 11th house cusp, and that sense of honor and integrity as well, with Regulus being around that 0 degrees of Virgo as well. And I think integrity is incredibly important to Scorpio as well. Like there needs to be that like integrity in our community. And I think that human to human emotional contact, with that background of the Uranus Pluto trine, that for me is across humane signs. So we need to remember that we're like connecting people here. And like while we can use like, AI and technology as a tool, it's all about these conversations that we're having, the connections between agents, the people that, you bring into your membership, the people watching this right now. Like we are all like warm-blooded people with like, feelings and like dreams and hopes and aspirations. Like, we want to get into the guts of it. And I think CIA provides that amazing bridge between the older, knowledge, the traditions. I mean, astrology draws on 2,000 years. And we do have our, older organizations that we, connect with, as astrologers. But then there's that pop side as well. I write horoscopes like you can't in newspapers. You can't get like, more poppy than that. But that's an entry point for people. And CIA is like the next step for people, like because they can go, wow, what's going on with this thing in the world? And the work you do, like something happens in the world and, you look into the astrolocality stuff, and like it is a way of understanding the incredibly rapid changes that we're, going through. And I think this CIA solar return chart shows that the Cosmic Intelligence Agency is like almost, I'm going to say uniquely, but I guess we all have that capacity within us to evolve with those times and reinvent ourselves in what is going to be kind of a new and at times strange world. But, Scorpio like is rebirth, it's regeneration. It can reinvent itself over and over again. And this is what I see in that solar return chart, this amazing ability to kind of reach down and go, yeah, we're still here. We can evolve and do this amazing stuff all together.
Fantastic. I love that, Kim. Thank you for sharing that. The Uranus in the 7th house is also inviting new energy and stuff, isn't it? Very much so. With that square. Come on.
I also think that Sun in Virgo too, it's filling a void. It's a service that's being provided. And there's something intuitive here about knowing that there is a service, that there's a hole that needs to be filled, and providing the service, with Mercury, Sun dispositor being Mercury and Leo, right, would suggest getting the message, the CIA getting the message and being able to deliver it out. And I mean, that's the product that we deliver.
Yes. I mean, there's incredible work being done, on YouTube with kind of mundane reports now and stuff with astrology. It's really good to see. I can't even keep up with it or do that much, right? But if any agents want to do more reports, like please do. I'm always kind of thought, a 24-hour channel, but it needs to be so well organized, but almost like, kind of just always reporting on the connections to what's going on in the world, to what's going on with, let's say, a turning chart, it's all about being connected to what's going on. But again, that's everywhere now. So it's incredible to see that happen. Yeah.
So I also love, sorry, Yulia, if you might, I love it that the moon in Leo is like big-hearted and generous and courageous, connected to the moon. And Pluto was right at the bottom of the chart. So, that to me is really powerful. Pluto on the IC there as well. So, I think that the CIA is only going to grow bigger. Jupiter's exalted in Cancer in the 9th house. So it's going to get more international. And, all of those symbols are so beautiful right there.
Yeah, I'd like to do retreats or something overseas, but again, it will come, it will come. I don't know if in the next year, but yes, the beautiful Jupiter connecting the family, international family. And to me, it's not about how big it is. Let's say the agents I work with, or it's the ones I trust and the ones that, kind of, we connect, pretty much, because that's how it works the best, put it that way. So yeah, thanks for your insights there. And then I've put it on the CIA chart as well. Mars activating the top there in Libra. I don't know. I don't need to really say Venus on the what do you call it on the descendants. Neptune and Saturn right at the bottom there, third house. I mean, I'd love to, and I've said this many times, is to create a series about the agents. That's one of my sort of thoughts about how to make this go further. But anyway, and then what do we got here? The secondary progress. Yes, we looked at that. We've got the moon also in trine with that 27 Leo moon coming up. So a 12th house moon for a while, which is interesting. Anyway, let's keep going.
But the moon was on the galactic center. I just wanted to mention that. The moon's on the galactic center.
That's it. Yeah, right. So we're very galactic this year.
Yes.
Always. And I just wanted to show, now I'll speak about the European agents that will come on later today, but so here's Pluto, here me sitting on the IC there. Kim, your little Mercury here in Brisbane. We have Bill, are you in New York at the moment or New Jersey? Oh, he's gone. Okay. He's here. Toronto, Cassandra was supposed to be online here. We have the North Node going through Buffalo and Toronto, all close by.
Well, I'm in the US.
Oh, there you are, Bill. So we've got the North Node going in this area around you guys, so that's good. Russell, is Austin near Houston? Where's Russell? Now he's gone off. Okay.
No, I'm here. Yeah, it's not far, as we're about 2.5, 3 hours from
So
Houston.
you might be on the Uranus line like Agent 84 should be.
Yes, it looks like I'm right on it according to
you're right.
Yeah, I was it's usual for me. I was born with it exact on the IC.
Right.
To the arc minute. Yes. So
I love that.
I'm very familiar with that feeling, and it looks to be the same.
Yeah, right.
Right over my head.
I'm just getting distracted. Cassandra wants the passcode to join this. Tara, can you message that to her? Sorry, I did send it out to everyone. Cassandra, it's coming to you. And then we were supposed to have Patricia here, but Patricia was in Florida again. No, she's up here somewhere, so also near the North Node. Now, Rose, you're in Vancouver, and we don't really see a line there, but what I've learnt to do with astrocartography is, of course, we need to add parans or midpoints to astrocartography, because if we don't see, a planet line going through there. So what we have here is Jupiter and the North Node paran going through right where you are, Rose.
Isn't that amazing? And my Jupiter opposes the Pluto of the chart of the CIA.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's my Jupiter.
It's the magic moments that come together. And then we have, again, Buffalo and Toronto. We have Uranus and the North Node coming through as well. So that's pretty cool. I didn't do many others, but so hopefully Cassandra will be here. Um, and oh, I've already done this. Yeah, I've already done this, so let's just keep moving. Just another funny thing. If we if we look at the Sabian symbols for the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, Agent 29 painted this Sabian symbols for us, a few years ago. But like it's just incredible. Okay, so the ascendant of 23, 24 Capricorn is a woman entering a convent. Now, of course, you've got to be serious to enter the CIA, right? No mucking about. It's a serious thing. Chiron at 29 Capricorn, again, Chiron is also very associated with shamanic things and, connecting to above. So a woman reading tea leaves, how appropriate. Neptune, 16 Aquarius, a big businessman at the desk. She painted me there. Now, I've always said I've never wanted the CIA to be big business because it scared the heck out of me. So I really didn't ever want to go there. An aviator in the cloud for Pisces. I mean, it's so cool, like the symbols that we're getting here. The IC is a seer gazes intently into a crystal ball. It's like it was made for us. An Indian weaving and then the rest of them are all about we should just be on retreats or buy an island. Really. An Indian weaving a blanket in the light of the sun, an empty hammock lies behind two lovely trees. Mars is on the beach, children play while shellfish grope at the edge of the water. The descendant, a woman and two men, or a man and two women cast away on a small island. Like seriously, there's just so many when when you put it all together, you're going, okay, like we're getting messages from this. Oh, Cassandra, welcome. I just saw that you were
Hi.
online.
Thank you, Tara. Hello, Kim. Hello, Russell. Hi,
I
Rose.
did
Hi,
pass out
everybody.
the passcode and anyway,
It's
sorry.
okay.
Yeah. We'll get to you in a minute. I'll just finish this up. And then we've got Saturn in Leo. What I really love about the Mercury in Leo is an evening garden party of adults. The Sun in Virgo is a portrait. The best man's traits and character are idealized. A blazing fire in deserted home. And three old masters hanging in a special room in an art gallery. Sometimes they seem to speak to each other. And so Deb had painted this, wall of speaking, paintings like as in, the Harry Potter movies. And it just reminds us of what we're doing now, like on Zoom, we're all kind of speaking with. Anyway, it's just so interesting, the whole thing. And South Node is circular paths. Here, a Chinese laundry, not quite sure what to make of that. Um, Although it's being kind of not an outcast, but it's about being different, isn't it? A Chinese laundry. It's about being an immigrant or something. So anyway. And just before I stop this share, and we're going to talk about a few things still, is let's just remember some of the wonderful agents that have really supported the CIA and, have been kind of mentors and support again for me during many things. Is Agent 101, Michael Luton. So I'm kind of going back from the most recent people we've lost. So thank you, Michael Luton. Like we did find out that he left us on the 11th of the 11th, 2024, although we're not completely sure, but that's when we found out about it. And it's funny that he would have loved this, that's the fictitious birthday of 007. So he was really 007. If we remember Linda Johnson, sorry, I didn't put her name in there. She died in 2021, but she became an agent. Of course, she's Australian, and her mission was to put together the EA meetings, which is the big group now. It has constant sort of videos and that. So that was her mission, and she did it. So Well done, Linda. It's still going on. Do you want to say anything about that, Rose?
She was an unbelievable promoter of astrology and specifically evolutionary astrology. And bless you, Linda, for all that you did to bring astrology to evolutionary astrology level to the level that it was. She edited a few books, and so she was an amazingly devoted, wonderful person.
Yeah. Thank you, Linda. And then someone that was very much behind the scenes but very dear to me was our webmaster for like 10 years or something, Agent 64, JD, we called him. He was, the best spirit, and he died just as COVID was coming through as well. We never met in real life, but he was definitely a treasure and was so devoted to the CIA. So well done, Agent 64. Makes me sad. And then Ed Tamplin, an Australian astrologer who taught us so much, very much about what do you call it? Mundane astrology. He was our go-to person, so we miss him dearly as well. Way too soon, way too fast, and he's even got one of the original T-shirts on here. So this is before the fractals. It shows how long ago that was. And then Jeff Jawa, who was probably the first international astrologer that came and bought a T-shirt and said, "Oh wow, I'm going to wear this everywhere." And I said, Agent 9, or he took the number Agent 9, said, all you have to do is just spread that T-shirt everywhere and wear it all over the place. And you'd find photos of him wearing it all the time. So it was very cool. And just interestingly, he had Mars at 11 Leo. So meant to be agents everywhere. Now what's this? What have I done here? Oh,
happy birthday,
this is
CIA.
Sorry, a message from Maurice. He couldn't be here with us today, so let's just see.
Maurice Fernandez, Arizona. And we need to celebrate. The CIA has been an extraordinary organization that has supported many of us astrologers along those years. And the most important thing is providing quality astrology. One of the magnificent things about the organization is that it's very inclusive. It brings different schools of thought, and new knowledge, old knowledge, this ability to really cover important ground for whatever is really serious, has integrity, and serves, the greater good through astrology. And we can only imagine how much work goes into this. And so the spirit of Julija, who is the engine, along with, her tribe and many close associates, we see the determination and we see the ability to prevail, to ride the wave of the internet and reach hundreds of thousands of people across the globe, but also, face the setbacks of so many ups and downs in the field of astrology. So thank you, Julija. And my personal, journey with the CIA has taken us to amazing workshops, both online and in person. And the latest one was in February 2024, when it was the Year of the Dragon. We celebrated the Year of the Dragon in Australia in a place called Venus Bay. And oh my God, that was, one of the highlights of many journeys. I'm going to come back to Melbourne, November 8th, 2025. So seeing you, perhaps many of you, in those close quarters, in the headquarters of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, to speak about the dwarf planets, Sedna and Eris, and then also a part on Uranus in Gemini, which is a lot about, uniting our astrology brains. Thank you, Julia. Keep going. Thank you, all the team. I know it's extraordinary work. I know many of you, are silent producers, but we see an amazing program. And wow, look at Time Lords, right? The latest version of the CIA magazine, which is really capturing the pioneering, the forward thinking, and the inclusiveness of this organization. And that's what makes it so special. Hope to keep being part of it. And thank you. Cheers. 20 more years.
Mhm. All right. Thank you, Maurice. Just a reminder before I stop my slide share, yes, Time Lords magazine is amazing. And if you would like to be part of it, reminder agents as well. Submissions for the next the next issue by October the 15th, please. And also, if you need advertising for Christmas or 2026, do get in touch. Look at all the amazing columns we have as well. And if you don't know, it's all archived now. And so you can go to Art and Astrology and find all the things that have been put into that category, or book excerpts, or my Sky column, or whatever. I mean, there's just so much there. And like Rose said before, some of us do still read articles. To be honest, I'm actually quite over. I can't have too many of the talking head stuff in my head anymore. Like, you scroll through Instagram and it's like, oh, I just can't. I can't take it in. Sorry, and so I don't go there a lot. Anyway, and because we are 20 years old now and we need to keep going and producing more stuff, we do have a 50% off membership. So do join up. It's incredible value. Have a look online of what you will get for subscribing for a year. And if you do subscribe now, this price will be locked in for any renewals down the track. So incredible teachings from all of these agents online here, and many more bonuses, discounts to our retreats. Of course, they don't happen all the time, but and building confidence in yourself as an astrologer as well. So, and we have t-shirts that have just come back into the world after many years kind of, not having any available. So do get yourself a CIA t-shirt. As Russell said before, they do work. People notice. We've been stopped in precarious places, all kinds of places like Ayers Rock going. People, I remember one night, or one time we were in the outback at Ayers Rock, all the tourists there, and we had our t-shirts on because we wanted to take a photo. And the tourists sort of came up and said, "Oh, you guys will know, won't you?" Looking at our t-shirts, asking something about the astronomy of the time, and we're, yeah, we know. And so, and other times, people sort of say, "Oh, what's that? That's cool. I'm an astrologer." It starts conversations. It helps spread the word. It really does. So make sure to be connected to that. Now, as we continue to just wrap up and talk about, let's say, the next 20 years or the past 20 years, we are going to pick 2 membership winners, and I will look for that on the, what do you call it, on the YouTube channel as we discuss things. So stay there. We might ask a question. All righty. All right. Thanks for going through that. Let's just welcome Cassandra properly. Cassandra, sorry about that passcode. Not quite sure what. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I agree. It does collect attention wherever you go.
Yeah. Now, Cassandra's been with us also for a very long time, has brought the CIA to an amazing place called Lilydale, which is like a psychic.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about Lilydale. It's amazing.
Sure. Sure. I mean, yes, Julia, I got to meet you in person in the flesh when we had the ingress of, Uranus and Taurus. We had a mini conference in Buffalo, New York, and we also brought that to Lilydale. So Lilydale is the worldwide center of the religion of spiritualism. And it's a Victorian village gated community. You feel like you're going back into the late 19th century. It's adorable. It's a little bit ragged around the edges, some of the buildings, as you might recall.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It really feels very authentic. I mean, going back so many years when the beginnings of Neptune in the sign of Pisces was congruent with the beginning of the religion of spiritualism, and it was leading up to the American Civil War, right? So that was the number 3 religion in the States at that time.
Wow.
Lincoln had seances in the White House. But anyway, Julia was there, and we did. Did we do a seance? Did we do a seance?
Yes, we did upstairs in
Yes.
this, kind of turret in someone's ceiling, like it was.
Yes, that was very cool.
I remember we were summoning like big energies, and you could really feel it was Armand Diaz and myself.
Right.
And then it was the first time there was astrology talks
Yes.
at Lilydale.
Right.
Because it was like like you could do all the psychic stuff and the readings, but you couldn't do astrology. And you and Patricia Bell organized that we would do the first astrology workshop there in since it began, or what? There was astrology not
in modern times, Julia, because
modern times,
because when I mean, historically spiritualists did use astrology, but I'm not speaking for Lilydale, but I will say this, that sometimes there's been, we humans do that. We categorize, okay, you are a tea reader, you're a medium, you're an astrologer. And there's these little pockets of, I don't know, inclusivity. And so we broke down and we had this inclusive organization, which is CIA. Just think what you did, Julia. You broke down the barriers even in Lilydale.
I do. Well, you did that. You organized it, but I remember that they had a 0 Virgo astrology chart as well.
Yes.
So it was like the connection was, oh my gosh, being connected to So 56, Cassandra, she is the spiritualist in the CIA because she is the one that gets messages from out there. I'm not saying that none of the rest of us do, but very much so. But and constantly doing that every week at the CIA on Facebook. So thank you so much.
Oh, I love doing it, Julia. And I don't know if I could share the screen, but I have a special Fun with Asteroids.
No, you can. Let me just say, while you're shooting that, I want to say hello to Patricia, Agent 50.
Hi, Patricia.
When did you come in? We were wondering where you were. Hang on, you muted. You muted.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's been a very crazy day. And I'm sorry to have missed the beginning, but I sure am glad to be here and see everybody. And
thanks for coming on. Yes. So Agent 50 gets his name because he used to live in Hawaii. Anyway, it's stuck. So anyway, let's get back to you. Let's have Cassandra just quickly tell us, Patricia, how you came into join the CIA way back then.
That was great. I believe it was 2011. And was it the first star camp?
Yes, it was the first star camp.
It was the first star camp, and it was my first time down under.
Yeah.
We went out and had the most amazing experience camping out, and then we went to Uluru. We went to Alice Springs, and into the outback, and the center of the earth, the sacred Ayers Rock. It was just amazing, and I got to know Olga and Jules, and so many agents.
And you became our Major Tom. Agent Tom. You were Tom back then still.
I was still Tom. Yeah.
You were still Tom.
The
This
good
is
old
how
days.
far we go back. But Patricia, you've always, like, when we did first meet you, you had just started your Pele report. You had just started. Like, it was just, getting, I don't know, a few hundred views or something. We looked you up because when you applied, we went, oh, look at this cool guy that's coming, to the Star Camp. And then of course we met you, and the rest is history. And you've done so well. You have done an amazing job, like, summoning the crowds and the people all over the world, like, endlessly. You travel so
Thank
much.
you.
Like,
I just wish I did more with the CIA.
well, there you go. We'll
And I
think
want
of
to
something.
get down to New Zealand too.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'm due for a visit down under. It would be great to see you. I haven't seen you in so long.
I think 2000, no, hang on, Costa Rica. But anyway, yeah, was it Costa Rica? And then everything went online. So we did
Yeah.
a lot together online and stuff. So Kepaja has a big membership, but students, like, you've been, EA students for a big stream now, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, I'm a total Jeffrey kind of guy. And but I kind of blend it with the shamanic astrology because I like Daniel Giamario, and then I throw in some of my own stuff, so I call it New Paradigm. But yeah, I have a school,
Yeah.
like
Well done.
400 students and stuff. So I'm trying
That's
to
big.
spread the word.
Yeah. Doing well, Agent 50. Thank you so much. We'll talk a little bit later about, well, again, a communal chat, but Cassandra wanted to share something. Cassandra, sorry about that. Great to have you here.
This is all fabulous. This is all fabulous. Okay, I'm going to share this fun little, let's see, sharing. Did I get, well, all right, share. Okay. I was playing with asteroids. As anyone, I'm sure, of course, many of us have just looked at asteroids, named asteroids. And let's see, put this in here. Okay, share.
You found us some asteroids. All right.
Yes, ma'am. So watch this. Okay, fun with asteroids. This is the birth chart of, and so there's so many named asteroids, right? So there is a Julija asteroid, and but not spelled like yours, and a Simmons. And take a peek at this in the chart of the CIA. Julija is 6 degrees, and Simmons is 2 degrees.
Oh, that's my Venus. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that fun? So Simmons asteroid is right there. And it's next to the asteroid called Intel. Okay. I mean, I love intelligence, right? So Simmons is blessed Intel. We've got Urania, which of course is somehow connected with astrology.
I've looked at Urania before. Yeah, I've looked at Urania, right.
Isn't that fabulous? Now, there's not an astrology asteroid that I can find, but there's an astro wizard asteroid, right? So asteroid wizard is at 21 degrees of Virgo, so that's kind of fun. And what other things? Oh, there's lots of other asteroids. But then when I was looking at the progress chart as well, the astro wizard is in the rising sign of the progress chart of the CIA.
Here, right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's Scorpio.
Let's see.
Progress. Sorry, progress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
Can you see that? Yeah.
I know asteroid Julija, when I was born, is on my ascendant. I mean, the asteroids are amazing. If you haven't looked them up, everyone, you've got to look up. You've got to look up, and there's a lot more that aren't in our software as well, isn't there? Now, right. I can't remember the name of the website that I use to look up all the obscure names, like Bowie or whatever.
It used to be Serenu. Serenu.
Serenu. And then there's another one called True Node, but it's true_node, and you put in the name, and if there is a name of that asteroid or something will come up.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my God, that's fantastic.
Intel and Simmons. Can you see the solar return chart I did here? So Astro Wizard is 22 degrees of Scorpio.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow,
Intel. Wow. Yeah, it's just fun to play with these. Especially named ones, right?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about this one, but there is my ex-husband's name, asteroid, is in the mix, and my maiden name, Butler, which is my name, Butler Bowerly, is exactly opposite the asteroid, which is Cassandra in my chart.
Yeah, so right.
Hyphenate names. I mean, astrology is everywhere. I mean, the universe is so smart. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the asteroid is incredible as showing up in these places. Thanks for showing that. I love that. I love that. Amazing, amazing. Yeah. All right, so gosh, let's hear from someone. If someone wants to say something about what the main thing they've seen change in astrology over the last 20 years. What can we say? I mean, I was saying before that when I started, this and the thinking that, astrology needs to be out there and not behind, the scenes and, stuck in newsletters and all that kind of stuff, or just in sun sign columns. It's changed so much. It's changed so much. I remember during the Pluto-Uranus square, this is, when we were starting to build, but it's because we were telling people about the changing times, and they could understand it through what we were saying. Pluto squares Uranus, this incredible shift going on, and it hasn't stopped since then. But I'd just like to hear from others about what specifically you may have really noted. I mean, Bill, for you it would be 53 years. Tell us a little bit about the big shifts there. Well, there's been many, huh? Unmute.
Yeah, I had to find you first. Changes in astrology. Well, the biggest is the introduction of the PC and the software. I mean, there's no way I would have been able to do all the work on financial and mundane astrology. Mundane astrologers didn't have PCs that sort through hundreds and hundreds of charts.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So that's made our research just exacerbate, go way further than it ever could have. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we all started out with having to learn, take log tables and construct charts by hands with a book of houses, and spent so much time setting up the chart, you didn't have that much time for interpretation.
Yeah.
So it's left a lot more time. I think interpretation is better. I think research is better. I think it's all improved.
Yeah, for sure. It's at our fingertips. It's just got to know how to use a lot of it as well. I mean, something like solar fire or whatever. It's like, whoa, there's so many things here. I don't even know what that means, It depends what rabbit hole you're going down, doesn't it?
I just threw out my table of houses, a Coke table of houses. Nobody is ever going to want this book. I don't know, But one thing that I find, and I'm grateful for the computer and so on, and I did do all those charts by hand. I can't believe it because, but very, very few people use ephemerises nowadays. And I have this soapbox, you have to have an ephemeris. You need to buy the book, for God's sake. You need to have the last century and this one. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. This
you need to know how to read it.
It's my last century, but my book for this century, I replace it every few years because I only get about this far before the pages are so messed up that the book is falling apart. But when you look up things on page, you see things that might not necessarily be in the chart. I just did a chart earlier today with Venus that had turned direct, but it wasn't showing station direct in the chart. You're not going to see things like that, right? So I just had this soapbox about anybody who's new to astrology. You have to buy at least these two books.
We have a lesson on that, how to read an ephemeris.
Yeah, how to read an ephemeris.
Very
I mean,
important.
programs like Solar Fire, it will have an ephemeris there, and you can print out anything you like. But just having the visual to be able to do a quick look-see is going to give you so much information.
Yeah. Well said, Rose. Thank you.
I think I absolutely agree with Bill. Of course, everything changed in the Uranus Neptune conjunction back in 89 through the early 90s. The limits of our brain just exploded with the introduction of the PC. And so a lot of people, I'm sure you've all can concur with this, who say, oh, I know astrology, because they have a little app on their phone, and it's real kind of superficial. They don't have the depth. And so this is and I love the fact that CIA is this inclusive worldwide network of so many experienced astrologers to kind of lead the charge, because more and more people that I come into contact with, the first question I ask, have you ever looked at your chart? Oh, of course they've looked at their chart. They don't know what they're looking at because they have the software, or they go and get the free little.
Yeah.
It's like the horoscopes of the 1950s in a different way. With a lot of new folks. I mean, astrology, we're astrologers, so you live and breathe and you look at everything, and that takes some time, regardless of the techniques.
Yes. I mean, we often, hear that become a master astrologer in 10 weeks. It's impossible. It's like you need the years, you need the experience, you need to, put together things over time.
Yeah.
That you need to be convinced by as well, don't you? Like,
Right.
You can fit it in a book, but you need to see it. You need to be convinced that this is a thing, right? Or that, this represents that. You have to find out for yourself.
Right. Maybe it's like the 10,000 hours that the Beatles had to play before you get to be an official astrologer. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you have to look at 10,000 charts before you can call yourself an astrologer, right?
Yeah. Well, at least 1,000.
At least 1,000. Okay.
I'm not sure that there's a number. It's different for everyone. Russell, what about you? I mean, we're talking about the past year, it's an incredible thing, but you've got something amazing going on to do with the future of astrology. Tell us what is going on there.
Well, first I'll just add to the conversation about this. There's the obvious technological changes that have happened in the last 50 years with computers, and I get to have wonderful conversations with Michael Erlewine occasionally, and he tells me about those early days with the Matrix, and David Cochran as well. And so I know that lineage of how it evolved from becoming just you're in the books all the time to turning into a technological advanced tool that we can use the computer for to do all these calculations. But what I've seen more interesting in the last 30 years, well, if you want to be more accurate, 14 years, when Pluto was when Uranus was about to enter Aries, that period was nebulous for us as astrologers, or at least for me. It was still a gray zone. It was comfortable in Austin to talk about astrology, but it wasn't necessarily something was going to get you any brownie points in your circle of friends, to talk about astrology. But as we moved through Uranus and Aries, you saw a shift. Everyone started hanging out a shingle. I read it, reading a book. Everyone's an astrologer. They wanted Uranus and Aries made everybody want to take on astrology, almost to the point of nausea. It was good for astrology in a lot of ways, but it diluted astrology, in my opinion. And I think you've seen a little bit more of a shift, Uranus and Taurus. And I think now Uranus going to Gemini is like, we're going to see a total revival. I think CIA is right on board with this. And our project that we're working with is Genius City. It's a part of a Genius Collective. So working not just with metaphysics and astrology, but also just all the connective tissues. We're marketing more towards those people who are in need of a transformative experience and they don't even know what it is. Because you see a lot of people from multiple different disciplines. Austin's a hotbed for a lot of cultures and a lot of high level thinkers, IT, but a lot of them are saying they're missing something. These are the millennials and the post millennials that are coming up. These young 20-year-olds, they're always on their computers. They're always, there's something happening that's going to keep them engaged, but yet they know that their soul is missing that extra bit, that astrology, or that their body's not in tune with what they need, so that they're looking for the alternatives. And this Genius City aspect is something that's going to help transform, not just their mental processes, but also bring a place. It's a place for people to come together, do the healing. We're going to have Tesla beds. It's not just about a place for teaching astrology, like for workshops. We've got new advanced technology, quantum healing technology that's coming in from all over the world. That's going to be in these locations. So like I said, we somehow a couple of Russian billionaires found us, and we had all the writing. Russian, like they had to come all the way from Russia to sit. Like we don't stand out to any just Americans. We're just kind of gray. But something about us stood out to these people, and they said, those guys have the right ingredients. They know what they're talking about. They could hear us speaking astrology loud and clear, and I think that got their attention. And they brought us on board for this mission. So we're going to be introducing astrology to a whole other crowd, engineers and science-minded people, and that's my cup of tea, So right people.
Is it built yet, or it's getting built?
It's underway. It's going to be 9 domes. The central dome is the solar dome, and the other domes are the planetary domes, and there'll be something different for each one. They'll have a different frequency encoded, and each one of these places will have. There'll be, the plan is over the next 10 years to have 50 locations in the United States. There's already 4 in Europe. There's 2 slated already. We're building the first one here in Austin. The other one's underway in Miami. So it's we're getting to be a part of a big project, and I don't want to betray my roots to astrology, but I feel like there's something bigger coming that's going to merge all these things together. So.
I got to jump in here, Russell.
Sure.
Uranus and Gemini is more happening.
By any chance was the genesis of this amazing project was in 2022 and August 2nd. The reason I ask is because that was the Uranus conjunct the North Node in Taurus. And some astrologers say, of course, when Uranus is conjunct the North Node, we have a new cycle of embodied astrology. So the embodiment of astrology, I feel, is the future for the next 14 years, starting in 2022. We had the psychological astrologers when Uranus was conjunct the North Node in Scorpio. I'm just throwing that out.
So that's important because, Julia, as you know, we practice what we preach, and embodied astrology is very important. We bring astrology into the dance. We make sure you're moving, always with yoga. There's always some sort of movement that's required. And so not to leave this out of the equation, with those people who sit behind a computer all day, which is kind of like what I end up doing most of the time, is we're going to be bringing the embodied astrology to the workshops and to the programs. So these will be transformational workshops that primarily involve Gurdjieff's work and his work with the Enneagram and several other disciplines around that, like Sufi mysticism and Kabbalah. That's its origins. But we're kind of transforming that a little bit to make it palatable for a larger audience.
Well, Russell, that sounds amazing. When you say us, is it you and Shannon, or is it the Austin group?
Well, no, it's none of the astrologers that we have. We were working on, so speaking on that as well, we had hosted Deborah Silverman here and Ricky Williams, and a few months ago, we were relaunching the Astrological Society since we put it fallow with COVID. And Ricky and I were talking about, he's working on an AI model. So he's on that cutting edge. He's Gemini. He's doing a lot of fabulous things, but he's going to be giving us the bones of his LLM. And we're going to be taking that and building the infrastructure to help put together what's needed for Genius City. Wow. So multiple models all at once. And you feel those gears shifting, like all these things lining up. Uranus, Gemini, Pluto, and Aquarius. We're launching with nitrous oxide into the future, and I love it personally. I feel like I was built for it, Sagittarius ascendant.
Well, if you need more agents, you know where we are, right?
Well, we will be recruiting from all sources. Yes.
Fantastic. Good luck with that, Russell, and keep us up to date. I don't know, like, yeah, keep us up to date with how that's going.
I'll
And
plug
look,
back in.
yeah, fantastic. 84. Remember that, you're 84. Hey, Uranus number, of course. Now, Agent 50, you have been working with AI models and grouping up so many different, what do you call it, modalities as well using AI. Is that right? Talking about another a Gemini moon here. 850, you there? You there? You there? You unmute, unmute.
Mute.
Oh well, I don't know. He's gone. He doesn't want to talk about it. Oh no, he's back. What's going on?
I'm really new to Zoom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, as if.
Yeah, well, actually, Jules and I are both part of this True Self. It's an AI app that
I'm
combines
a little bit.
Chinese astrology and Vedic astrology and Western astrology with gene keys and human design and numerology and the Enneagram and spiral dynamics, and it brings them all together and offers this opportunity to not only have a profile, but of what everything says put together, but then you can also ask it questions. So yeah, the
Yeah,
AI is
wow.
really stepping in big time.
Well, some people are into it, and others are kind of going, "Oh, I'm not going to touch that." It's still quite um, it's a real Gemini thing. Are we going to use that or not? Do I love it or do I hate it? Where do others stand on this kind of, AI? I don't want to say interference. I think it's an inevitable, evolutionary step, isn't it? So, anyone else want to say anything there about astrology, AI?
I've got opinions.
Yeah, well, we're allowed to.
Yeah, I think algorithms can calculate, but I think, going back to that, evolving Scorpio energy that showed up in the CIA charts, like we are, like meat hanging off bones. We've
Yeah,
got like
the
feelings
real
and
stuff.
emotions. And
Mm,
I think
mm.
that AI offers like an amazing tool. It's a bit like going from, we used to ride horses and, you can keep riding a horse, but everybody else is going to be riding cars. So you need to, upskill yourself on cars, know how to cross the street, things like that. These algorithms and LLMs can calculate, but there's something about these human to human conversations, something beyond us. And I think what Cassandra was saying before about the, spiritualism and the Neptunian stuff, the things that we can't turn into ones and zeros is really important. So as long as those algorithms and models and apps and things are in service of humanity, I am supportive of them. We need to stay in our human bodies and be connected with our souls, the parts of ourselves that are magical. I'm into magical astrology as well, and AI can't do magic. AI is technology. It offers us a lot of space, I think, to free up our minds for the less tangible, mysterious side of ourselves, the things that we experience when we're in deep meditations, when we're going into altered states and stuff. Like an AI can't do that in the way that we can. So I'm on the fence. I'm a Gemini myself, so I see opportunities, but I also see some cautions.
Fantastic, Kim. Yeah, I agree. So, okay, Paja, how have you seen that working, like with the people that are using True Self at this point?
Well, I agree so much with Kim. There's nothing like a personal reading.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like workshops where you sit in a circle of people and feel each other and the energy and spirit is in the circle, and where two or more are gathered, spirit is there. And I think it's a great diving board to jump off into, higher realms, we could say, but it's not going to replace a soul-to-soul conversation. And I think it's really important to stress, and even in the True Self app, they're going to have links to personal astrologers to where, okay, this is a good place to start, but it's definitely not the end.
Yeah. It's again a kind of an inroad, explore yourself. Here are some tips in a sense, and you can go deeper. Yeah.
I think it can open up, it will open up a whole new audience. I think it can bring a whole number of people.
Yeah.
And again, Uranus and Gemini can just explode astrology, across the board. And then
you ain't seen nothing yet, hey?
and what I wanted to say, in regards to how astrology has changed over the years. I mean, the astrology is a reflection, and the microcosm mirrors the macrocosm. And as humanity evolves, astrology evolves. As we evolve, our interpretation of astrology evolves.
Yeah.
And like Virgo has really changed from the librarian, to the integrated, powerful woman, and we have Black Moon Lilith coming in, and we have the new centaurs and all these new bodies. And so, I really see astrology as changing dramatically as human consciousness changes.
Yeah.
And lastly, I would want to add that as that human consciousness changes and we change ages, and we are all evolving, I think people are seeking different answers. Maybe it was when to buy a house, or maybe who to get married to, but now I have so many people looking for their purpose. Why am I here, and why am I going through what I'm going through? And I don't think that AI really has the answers to those questions. I think, Jeffrey brought up, and he always said, the astrologer is the counselor of last resort. and I'm seeing so many people come to astrology because they're not getting their answers anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I think that the CIA and, astrology organizations are going to see this boom coming up here, with Uranus and Gemini, that's going to really take us to the next level.
Yeah.
Julia, I wanted to tag in on the back of what he's saying on that. So I've been doing a lot of research in this because we're putting together venture proposals for capitalists on this. And there's a lot of people out there moving money to make things happen in astrology for the future. So the reason I'm looking at this enthusiastically is because I feel like we're on the precipice of a change. The younger crowd is speaking more loudly now. And they're saying that the global astrology market size was valued in 2021 at 12.8 billion. But by 2030, it will be valued at 22.8 billion. That's an $11 billion increase in 9 years. And we're still, last I checked, we're only halfway there. So the online astrology market is going to continue to go gangbusters for the next several years before we reach a point of saturation. It's not too late to get in on doing these apps, to finding your niche. And it doesn't have to be a replacement. These LLMs can be a synthesized version of what we're doing, because all the younger generation, they're gonna want to have an astrologer in their pocket because that's how they're growing up. So that's why we're looking at, and it better be the right astrology and not just somebody just I read a book last month and hung a shingle out, so we need some deep work in astrology. And that's why I appreciate everyone who's doing this, trying to blend these different types of techniques and ideologies. So for example, Ricky Williams, he's trying to hang on to the last vestiges of some of the Brotherhood of Light. He's a student of that particular branch of astrology that developed, in the 1910s 1910s, 1911, so of them are in there. And he wants to make sure that's preserved because its teaching is kind of going away. And now AI and also with online technology can help us do that. You know, so that's I got to give it a plug. You know, I see its pros and its cons.
I just last week or 2 weeks ago, I taught a class in AI and spirituality down at Lilydale. And you're all invited. We're going to have a conference down in Lilydale late August when the nodes shift into Aquarius and Leo. I'm not putting it together, but I'll be a part of it. And I'll be teaching and facilitating AI and astrology because I've been doing this deep dive with the different chatbots. In the past few months, they have different creation dates, launch dates, and they are very different in their acceptance of astrology, as it were. I mean, Claude and I are a match made in heaven, okay? And I only did was give Claude my chart, and it was really freaky. It comes out and says, do you realize that your sun is on my south node? Bang, and then it went. And so I'm a reluctant AI explorer, but of course I've got Gemini, my 0 degrees of south node, but it's here, and Uranus is just,
it's amazing things that I've been doing. The more that I've been chatting with it and telling it what I want it to know, the more it recalls, like with the Venus cycle, with the Venus star, I'm going, no, you got that wrong. It's the evening, not the morning. And then it corrects it and then it knows it forever. Right. So every time, and I do know other agents that have scanned a lot of the reference books that they use into AI, and so every time they want to write or recall, you know, what did Jeffrey Wolf Greene say about this or whatever, it's because it's scanned into their info. It's just right there. You don't have to. I mean, it's amazing, like the way you can use it for, you know, opening up, you know, so many different sort of ways that you'll work it. It's exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
it's amazing.
That's very true, Jules, because, and this is what's so important now is like True Self has, you know, brought me on board to be an advisor for their astrology, their Western astrology. And I am now a prompt engineer. I've taken on a new job, and it's very
interesting. Is that a lot of work?
You know, thank God I have the moon in Gemini because I'm interested in this, but it's so important, the prompt, because AI is teaching itself.
Right.
And right now it's very important when you reach out, it knows everything out on the web, but you have to guide it. Okay, you know, we'd like you to ignore this information, and we want you to bring you to bring this information forward.
Yeah.
And some of these
correcting
prompts,
it is a job. It's almost a mission for us to correct it.
This is very important. And we're at the nascent stages right now that are the foundation of what the future astrology AI is going to be. And if we can, you know, put our input, I think it's very important now to really, you know, guide it along the best path.
Yeah.
Some of these prompts, like you ask it a question, and the prompt can be 2 pages long. Like, you know, if somebody asks this question, we want you to go out and look here, and here. And yeah, it's really
and then putting in you know, good references, like we want the information from that writer or, you know, whatever. Not that they can scan the book, but they'll know some. Anyway, it is incredible what we can do and what we will do. Incredible. Well, I don't know. I think we need to have more meetings, agents.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's almost like, it's like we're all busy working and stuff, but almost like this has been great to just and talk and maybe have more plans of making things together, doing things together. I'd still love a conference in Australia. I just, you know, I still want to have that happening.
Need to come to Australia.
Yes, yes, yes. I know. We've got to raise the money so we can get all of you here, though. That's the thing. Um, but let's just think it will happen. It will happen. It will
It will
happen.
happen.
Or somewhere else. Or somewhere else. At this
I
new
have to run, everybody.
that
So
Russell's going to be
yeah,
part of, or in Mexico.
amazing.
Just use your magic and call in your Russian billionaires. That's what we did.
Well,
So,
right.
There you
yeah.
I'm not sure about the Russians, though. Sorry.
Well, no, they're good people too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I have to run, everybody, but thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Tara.
Okay,
Thank
take
you,
care.
everyone, for being online. Just before we go, we do have a part 2 with the European agents, and I'll be talking to them about similar things, but different things as well, because there's a great, amazing group. I mean, if there was a center of the CIA at the moment, it's in Turkey, because there's just so much going on there with them, and they want teachers, they want more teachers. To teach with the Turkish groups, you have to do the translations, but again, they're just so hungry for information. Not that they haven't got any. There's just so much astrology there. It's incredible. Anyway, so amazing stuff. So part 2 later today. So thank you, beautiful agents. I've lit a candle
Thank you.
for us to keep us unified in this amazingness. Oh, I know it's anyway, it's there. So I look forward to connecting with you all again very soon and making a schedule for 2026. Yeah, oh my gosh. Keep up the great work, everyone. Love you all. I love that we're all still connected. And there's, of course, many, many more of you out there that couldn't make it today. And thanks for your support, and thanks to all the members. And yes, join up. We're a great crowd, as you can see.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thanks.
Bye.
20
Happy
years,
birthday,
CIA.
CIA.
Namaste.
See you all soon.
Okay.